Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nerf Minecraft Heartstealer. This blaster came out this year in 2023 and is part of the Nerf Minecraft line. So with that out of the way, let's get started by talking about the box. So starting off with the front of the box, you can see we have this very basic packaging here. It's pretty basic except for the fact that it's in portrait mode, but it still has the same basic information we come to expect from all Nerf blasters. The dart contents: this blaster includes 4 Nerf Elite darts. Blaster description, which is a dart firing foam sword, and our recommended age, which is ages 8+. Also, plastic free packaging. Flipping it over to the other side of the box, we have basically the same thing that's on the front of the box. Basic blaster description, dart count, even the recommended age, which most blasters don't usually have recommended age also on the back. It's a little weird. But there's no mention of plastic free packaging. I mean, I think this is the back of the box. I mean, the way the box is made and the fact the tape is here, pretty sure this is the back of the box. Moving on to the side of the box, here we have our instructions. Seems to be a very simple, single shot muzzle loading blaster. Yeah, I've talked about the box too long. So without further ado, let's get this thing out of the box. Alright, normally I don't talk about during this time, but I guess this isn't the front of the box, but this is the front of the box, but it has the tape on it. Alright, here we have the Heartstealer at the box, and starting off, we have our darts. These are a silver body with a red tip. I think they're pretty cool. And now moving on to the blaster itself. So first impressions, this blaster is very light. This is a foam blade on the sword here. I mean, it does mention on the front of the box that this is a dart firing foam sword, and here's our little firing mechanism. So it's a foam blade. It doesn't appear to be able to hurt anybody. So I guess this is our first melee weapon on the channel. I mean, I guess the Stormlander counted as that, but I wouldn't recommend using the Stormlander as a melee weapon because it's kind of heavy. But this, I kind of just feel like it's a foam, just like a simple foam sword. Seems to be pretty sturdy. Not these seem like a little flimsy, but I mean, unless you're like hitting people really hard, yeah, it's gonna break. The rest of the blaster, it's actually made out of 3 different materials, or has 3 different materials on it. So the blade is foam. The middle section is plastic, but it's rubberized. This is like kind of a heavy rubberized coating on it. So this is all squishy rubber. I think it's all rubber with maybe some plastic inserts in here. But I guess it's added padding if you do hit somebody with this. I mean, that hurts. It does hurt, especially if you get hit by the corner here. But I guess it's better than getting hit by straight plastic. The handle, on the other hand, is made of plastic, so is the charging handle, trigger. To load the blaster, it's a simple muzzle-loaded blaster. That's a pretty nice dart fit. Sticks out a little bit. Prime, I just pull the handle back. It's very kind of a light prime. And then this button is your trigger. Wow, I don't know what I was expecting. Wasn't expecting that. Let me fire another dart. I think this thing has some power to it for some reason. It feels like this thing has some power. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the sounds of darts hitting walls and cushions. Anyway, there isn't any other features on this blaster. There's no rails, there's no barrel attachment points, no stock attachment points, no magazines, nothing like that. Yeah, very simple blaster. No dart storage either. The Stormlander did, but this one doesn't. So yeah, not much else to say about this blaster, so let's get this thing out on the range and see how it fares. Alright, here we are at the accuracy test. As you can see, we have our targets set up over there. Here we have the Heartstealer. And I don't think I mentioned this, but this blaster is based on a sword in Minecraft Dungeons, which, funnily enough, the box, only on one side of it does it say Minecraft Dungeons. The rest of it just says Minecraft. We're losing a couple eggs just by talking, but I doubt we're going to have to resort to hitting those, because I doubt we're going to hit anything with this. Because As you can see, there aren't really any sights on this blaster. I'm not sure how I'm going to aim with this. We're going to be starting off with Nerf Elite. We're going to be shooting 6 shots each. Where was I aiming? I was not aiming at the target. This thing is definitely going to be hard to aim. I mean, yeah, it's a sword, so it's definitely close quarters. I actually hit that. So, I'll hit something. Wasn't aiming for that, but I guess try to just a point and shoot. Oh. I'm gonna fire one more just for good measure. I keep hitting the table. I think I'm aiming down. I think that's what's happening. I'm aiming down. So I should probably aiming a little higher. It seems to be shooting pretty straight. This seems to be shooting pretty straight. So I guess with a little practice, you could get good with this sword. Anyway, let's move on to the next dart. All right, on to Adventure Force. That was 1. That's 2. Aim for the middle. That's 3. Hit the table. That's 4. 5. But that fishtailed. Huh, only hit 1 target. They keep kind of spinning, fishtailing away. I know it says 6 shots, but I'm gonna shoot a 7th one. So I actually aim this thing. This thing's just really hard to aim. It's like all the other Nerf Minecraft blasters I've reviewed. Anyway, we didn't hit anything, so I guess we move on to the next dart. We're gonna be moving on to Dart Zone. Oh, almost hit something. That went up, went down. Yeah, for some reason I'm getting closer to the target if I just don't really try. That went too high. Oh, got something. And we hit the table. This is definitely one of those blasters that you're just gonna have to get used to and practice with. Anyway, with that all the way, let's move on to the range test. All right, so here we are at the range test. As usual, for context, the chicken marks 25 feet, the swan marks 35 feet, the frog marks 40 feet, and the far back wall marks 50 feet from where I'm standing. We're gonna be starting off with Nerf Elite. All right, see how this fares. 40 feet. A little over 35, so about 37. Less than 35. That's about 36, I'd say. Got picked up by the wind, almost 40, about 48. By the way, we're shooting 6 darts each. 35, 40. Okay, those couple of shots, so it's around 35 to 40 feet. I think 1 shot went shy of the 45-foot mark, so right on to the next dart. We're moving on to Adventure Force. Oh, fishtailed to a little over the 25-foot mark. I want to say about the 30-foot mark. Does not like Adventure Force. Less than 25-foot mark. Less than 25. Less than 25. About 28. I shot 5, right? Shot 4. No, I'll fire another one. Oh, 35. I fire one more just to be on the safe side. 35. I feel like I need to maybe try that again. I don't know. Maybe it's because my Adventure Force darts are really just bad. I just feel like I just need to continue shooting some Adventure Force to get a better idea. I want to say that if you have like good tight fitting Adventure Force darts, I think this blaster should be able to make it to the 35-foot mark consistently. Anyway, moving on to Dart Zone. 35, a little less than 35, about 34, 35, 33, 32, almost 35, about 34. That was about 35. Kind of angled, and that one went to about the 40-foot mark. Here are the ranges for each of the darts. With that all the way, let's move on to the speed test. Here we are at the speed test. We're going to be starting off with Nerf Elite. 52. By the way, we're going to be doing 6 shots each. 59, 60, 58, 55, and 63. On to the next dart, which is Adventure Force. 51, duplicate 51, 43, 44, 47, and 53. Last dart, Dart Zone. 54, 37, 59, 50, 55, 50. Interesting. I think that was the first speed test I ever went through where I didn't error. Wow. Anyway, let's move on to the speeds. Starting off with Nerf, we had an average of 57.83, a minimum of 52, and a maximum of 63. For Adventure Force, we had an average of 48.17, a minimum of 43, and a maximum of 53. And for Dart Zone, we had a maximum of 50.83 with a minimum of 37 and a maximum of 59. Though I will say the 37 felt a little weird. Yeah, I don't think I see the dart incorrectly, so probably would have been better. Anyway, let's move on to my final thoughts. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the Nerf Minecraft Heartstealer? But before we do that, as usual, we need to worry about it, how much I spent. I purchased this blaster at Target for $24.99 USD. So starting off with our first point, aesthetics. With all of the Minecraft blasters that I reviewed, I do think it looks pretty cool. I will say this is probably one of my more favorite designs of the Minecraft blasters. I still think, in my opinion, the Stormlander was the best looking of them, but this isn't too bad. I actually really like this blaster, how it looks and everything. Very nice use of the pixel graphic aesthetics. Charging handle looks like a little heart, which is I think it's what it's supposed to be. The only weird thing is is this part here, this little pixel here on the actual sword in game. Yeah, it could not exist in real life because it's just floating there, so they had to reinforce it here. And if you had like a little pin or something holding it on, it probably would break a lot quicker than these. Even with the plastic component of the sword, I think it looks fine. This chunk here, not too bothered by. So overall, the Heartstealer is a pretty cool looking blaster, in my opinion. Next point is ergonomics. The Heartstealer is probably one of the more comfortable Minecraft blasters. I don't know, maybe because they really smoothed down the edges here. The prime on the blaster is a very smooth, light prime. The trigger is very easy to push. It's kind of a hair trigger, so do keep that in mind. Blaster also balances pretty well from the handle, so there isn't too much of an issue there. I mean, of course, this is a foam blade, probably a plastic core inside, but so it's very light. Yes, this blaster is very light. First got it from the store, I noticed how light the box was. For how big of the box it was, it's a very light sort of, foam. I think the blaster is pretty good ergonomically. On to compatibility. I guess the only compatibility we can talk about is darts, because there's no accessories on this thing. It does appear to work well with, I guess, all the darts. Haven't had like a misfire, like the air restrictor hasn't pushed a dart out too far so it doesn't fire anything. But of course, it does have problems with older, worn out darts that the dart body has been like kind of thinned out. It does have problems with those, so that's why the Adventure Force ones weren't flying so far. I will say it has a pretty good compatibility with other darts, other brands of darts. So moving on to reliability. During my tests, hasn't had any problems with misfiring, so we don't have a problem with that. I mean, like I said in the compatibility section, kind of has a problem with older worn out darts, but using fresh darts shouldn't be a problem. It does shoot very straight. I was very surprised how straight shooting Nerf was out of this blaster. Like I always say, Nerf is not the most accurate dart, but in this blaster, it seems to be perfectly fine. So overall, this blaster is quite reliable. So the next point I want to make is a point I completely forgot about during the recording of the video, and that is build quality. So most of the blaster, I think, is pretty well built. Even the blade part seems pretty strong, pretty durable. Cross guard feels pretty durable. Handle seems to be okay. Trigger seems to be fine. But there's one part on this blaster that I think is a little flimsy, and that is the charging handle. This thing I feel flexes too much and just doesn't feel strong. I feel like that it appears to be the weak point of this blaster. Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. Charging handle is a little flimsy. Alright, so last point I want to make is value. What are you getting for your $24.99 USD? Spoiler alert, not much. All you're getting is 4 Nerf Elite darts and a single shot muzzle loaded blaster with a foam sword attached to it. Really, it's just foam sword with a blaster attached to it. I do understand this blaster is Minecraft branded, so there's royalties which will amp the price up, but I really don't think it's worth that high of a price. Would I overall recommend the Heartstealer? At its current price, no. Definitely would not recommend it at its current price. I would say wait for the blaster to go on sale, maybe around 10-15 bucks, I would say. That'd be a more reasonable price. Or wait for its price to go down, like have a price change which goes down, which a lot of the other Nerf Minecraft blasters have. It's kind of this weird trend with Minecraft blasters. Their original retail price, their starting retail price is always super high, and then after a while it goes down. Like for instance, the Nerf Minecraft Pillager's crossbow. That originally retailed for $27.99 and is now has currently gone down to around the $16.99 mark. And I mean, even the Saberwing was like $44.99, and then Stormlander's original retail price was $21.99, and then it has gone down to around $12. Yeah, now it's gone down to like $12.99 at Walmart. That is definitely what I would recommend doing. Wait for the blaster to go down in price, or wait for a sale, then pick it up. I don't think that the Heartstealer is that bad of a blaster. I still think it's a pretty cool blaster, just really expensive. That's all I have to say, and that'll be the end of the review. Comment your thoughts about this blaster down below. Comment what else you want to see on the channel. Be sure to check out my review on the Nerf Minecraft Stormlander. Also check out my other reviews. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.